I said, "Dear Jilly from Philly, thank you for this feel good music. I feel so full. It felt like a warm hug, but the kind of hug that you start rocking with because you haven't seen your family in a long time. I am beyond grateful that I got to experience Jilly from Philly since a child and to feel the same fulfillment as an adult." This album felt like ancestor veneration, and with this veneration, I pray Jill Scott's cup runneth over into abundance for filling our souls with art. Because words can never describe how much the collective needed this. I am very thankful. From the funk to the bass to the poetry, I think that's what drew me in even faster was the poetry. I said I cannot wait to sit next to my ancestor altar and breathe through it, and also sit during certain moments. What a time to be alive to still experience such excellence. To be honest, this is the music that I grew up with. It had a message. This album is included storytelling, 90s rap, flow, jazz, house, burlesque, and reverbing. The Neptune's drums are timeless per usual. The song "The Math" felt like a diary, and that Jilly from Philly read aloud, and I actually love "The Math." It's like one of my favorites on here. And I don't mean to be shady, but I said this album made me feel like the first time I heard "Plastic on the Sofa" by Beyonce, I was like, ooh, the R&B and the soul kind of just feels full, right? It feels like, oh, people are really falling in love. It's not like empty lyrics like, yeah, I'm taking her to the bed. Like, you know what I mean? It's something about these older artists that they understand the art of love, fulfillment, and yearning. And that's the reason why I was even talking about Brent. I felt like this album was grown, sexy, and very mature, because it wasn't empty lyrics. It felt emotional and people could connect, and it made them yearn to fall in love. And I felt the same way with Jilly. I was also obsessed with the North Philly song. It definitely gave 90s rap. And I was like, oh shit, that's Jill. She rapping, okay. And Tierra Whack, I really enjoy her music. So it was I was super excited to hear her. I truly say it's no skips. I listened to this album at least 17 times now. I love the album for real. The only one that might be a skip for me is it was like the biggest pimp of the year. And that's only because no shade. Too Short's verse. I'm like, okay, girl. No, it's not okay, girl. He a boy. But like, you know what I'm saying? That's how I felt. I was like, oh, okay. But now I leave it because I'm like, okay, it does flow. Her energy was truly infectious on the Tiny Desk. I'm so glad that I got to experience that. I really pray that I could get extra money so I could go to her concert, you know. Again, these are the names that I really liked, but I'm telling you, it's really no skips for me. But it's something the songs that I really love listening to was Beautiful People, North Philly, Me 4, I think it's The Math, A Universe, Lifted Me Up, To Be Honest, and I Say. Those are my real, like, my favorites, but the whole album is truly my favorite. When you think that Willow Smith can't outdo herself, okay, because she's her own competition, she always pulls through. She's like, surprise, bitch. Like, I wrote down in my notes, the thing I love about Willow is that she's not afraid to evolve and try new sounds, which is so important in today's age. Everything sometimes sounds the same. People are afraid to evolve. Her versatility is truly unmatched, and I love it. It's like an ethereal evolution filled with magic. That's what I was talking about when it comes to this album. First of all, I love the introduction. It's like foreshadowing into a new era, and it's featuring George Clinton. Like, are you kidding? That's so classic. That's so kick-ass. That's iconic as hell. Anyways, with Hear Me Out, the layered vocals had me levitating. I don't know why I keep on mentioning the SpongeBob meme. Levitating, and the vocal arrangement throughout the album is insane and astonishing, truly. I truly enjoyed in the song Play, the saxophone. It was Kamasi Washington. It was excellent. Like, that's something I also wasn't expecting. Omnipotent, that one was really groovy. Then it breaks out into like a divination with runs, and I was like, yes, Lord, yes. One thing I will say is I do wish the songs were longer, but we know that Willow is an artist and she's a healer, right? So she's not trying to, I don't know, first of all, she's an artist, so she always bends the rules. That's why I said in the beginning that she's her own competition. But I also truly understand that she drops what she feels and she pours into her music, which pours into us, you know? She drops because she knows that's what the collective needs. She drops because she loves the collective and she loves the art, if that makes sense. So we accept the shorter songs. In my opinion, I always accept what artists like Willow give me. I accept, I don't force, I flow, you know? Like I mentioned before, I do feel, if I didn't mention it, I feel like Willow Smith is definitely a healer and an artist at the same time. Living in the Art, the interlude was just affirmations, which was beautiful. I'm in love with a spoken word. I actually felt that way about Jill Scott's album too. I am enjoying that the artists are dropping poetry in these interludes. I think it's magnetic and it's very great. And then in the end, we got Ear to the Cocoon, which was a pleasant surprise. It had gentle funk as well as jazzy sounds with her scatting, and the layers of her voice is immaculate. Like, it was spectacular, truly. So my faves on the album, I put hearts, real, like a lot of hearts, next to Not Fantasy, as well as Nothing and Everything, and Living in the Heart interlude specifically. But I also loved Hear Me Up, Vegetation, Sitting Silently, Omnipotent, Holy Mystery, and Ear to the Cocoon. So basically the whole dang album. And even when I listened to it again, I did enjoy the cover of Prince. It wasn't something I was expecting. Great job. I listened to this album twice, as I did with all of the albums, a little bit more now. And I keep sending everyone this album, specifically my daughter. When I listened to it, it's the first song, I was like, this feels like storytelling and a journey. And I feel like The Red Apple was such a great opening song, and it felt like really medieval. Then it slid into Beginning and the End, which was genius. Also a medieval vibe that matched the prior song. I love when albums just flow. It means a lot. Then it slides to Head, Shoulders, Knees, which sounds super kooky. And I hope to see people cosplay it around Halloween or September, or like, you know, the Halloween season. Also, something that I mentioned in my notes is I love when artists beat switch and the song pivots into another. Like, that's one of my favorite things. I put down, I would like to describe this album as art pop meets 80s pop rock, hip hop mixed with eclectic futurism and some pop disco. This album would definitely feel good. I told you already, in cosplaying, but also at a party where everybody is warming up to one another. I feel like it's a very solid first album for her, and I'm very, very proud of her. I also stated that it would sound amazing in movies. I loved her layering. Of course, the beats, it's mixed. Every song brought its own vibe. I also love that. You can definitely hear the growth from the last project, like around 2 years ago, which is still very amazing. And you could tell the budget definitely increased. Now I'm going to name the songs that I really did like. Honestly, it was all of them. So The Red Apple, The Beginning of the End, WWW is Whoa Whoa Whoa. I don't know. I feel like Tina Turner and Prince would love that song, especially like the choir vocals as well. They make you feel like you're ascending, like the SpongeBob meme. I don't know why I wrote that. And the ending of WWW or Triple W or Whoa Whoa Whoa, like, I don't know. The ending felt like a victory in the Matrix. Yeah. Server and the Blight makes me feel like we are so blessed to have Hemlock, but also like people were lucky that in the 80s she wasn't around, because she would have like ate y'all for breakfast. Like, she's so lit. She would have been 80s royalty, but we have her now regardless, and we love her. So I really love that she is so versatile, and I also love that you could hear the song like really slowed down. It could be really great in a horror film. I love talking about things like that. I actually just talked about like a Beyonce song like that and somebody else's song. It kind of reminds me, you know, if you ever seen Get Out, or yeah, if you ever seen Get Out, you know how they do Run Rabbit fast and then they do it slow. Like, I think that this song, Server and the Blight, could be in a horror film, and I absolutely love the versatility of that. All the instrumentals on this album, the beats, were celestial. Okay, I love the sense. It's a prelude and it divides into the senses. This sounds like it needs to be connected to a vampire story. I said Set Me Free had me thinking My Hips Don't Lie, and of course Be the Girl. It's kind of crazy because I was listening to it for the second time and I actually just saw the video for it, and it actually just confirmed what I was saying from the beginning, that this song has a lot of versatilities, but it definitely felt like medieval. She did an amazing job. This whole album gives like fantasy, adventure, electronica futurism. I'm so into that. I'm just going to show y'all the short. I already told y'all how I felt about Brent. I thought the album was fantastic. Here's a clip. With all the albums that I just listened to, you can tell that as a collective, we're about to shift. Now, what I have to say about Brent Faiyaz, a lot of people don't agree, but even in the comment section, when I was listening to his whole album, which is phenomenal, and I'm going to do a longer review on it, a lot of young boys that was influenced by Red Pill and his toxic behavior and his music was like, oh, I'm not feeling this. And a lot of young ladies were like, yeah, yo, I'm feeling this. And it's just some of the R&B boys, they was like, yeah, I'm feeling this way more. It's really refreshing to hear a R&B artist not talking about sex all the time. This is coming from young men. That's why I feel like music and culture is very important to feel, I don't know, to kind of lead the youth in the way. Like, I think Brent Faiyaz being over the age of 30 or being 30 and just like, hey, this is a rebrand for me, because how long could I be toxic? I mean, I even seen people in the 30s like literally saying like, oh, I hated it. It makes me feel like, remember when Ariana Grande tried out R&B? And it was like a whole new sound and people hated it, but it would end up being so monumental and amazing people couldn't even appreciate it. I feel like that's how Brent Faiyaz's album is finna be, and they couldn't appreciate Eternal Sunshine either, but I appreciated it, and I appreciate this album. The first song, he like singing in the rain, and the rest of it is so groovy. And you could sit there and listen to what I was reading. I was drinking a mocktail. It's a vibe. It's a 90s vibe. And then he put a little funk in it, a little Motown. There was a song that sound kind of like a little bit like Michael Jackson. Butterflies is one of my favorites on the album. I'm just saying, good for you, Brent, because I had beef with him for a long time. I'm like, he's so toxic. I hate that shit. And again, I'm not like the hugest Brent Faiyaz fan, but now I might be. I like quality music, and I like when artists know, like, hey, it's time to hang up the fuckboy scene kind of shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? And everybody's like, well, he in love now. Well, duh. He's 30. And even if he wasn't, he's like, you know what? This is a time for the lovers. I appreciate you. I love it, Brent. Good job. Everybody's talking about Tiana and Major Nine's album, and it's making me mad. She released the album like, I think last week. And I actually discovered her the week before. I did really like her album. I think her album is super cute. This would be a great driving album. It has great lyricism. I did like some of her videos as well. It's a great journey of emotions. And I did say, I actually discovered her around 2 weeks ago, which I'm really happy that I did. My favorite songs on the album was Wakiki, specifically Wakiki. I've had that on replay. I think it's fucking fire. I think it's hot. Grace Always, Desire featuring Yeba, and Energy featuring Keon. So yeah, girl, you doing it. Like, I'm gonna keep on following your journey. I like serious. Excuse me. I sincerely vibe with it. And yeah, so this is the end of the albums. I'm super excited to see what comes out on February 20th. I think it's Yeba and Alex Isley. So great job, everyone. I am just so blessed. You guys blessed me. I'm so full, like musically. I'm like literally, my soul is so full. You guys did such a great job.